Happy Monday, happy Monday, happy Mercury retrograde, happy Venus retrograde, happy Uranus retrograde, happy full moon. Holy moly moly. Okay. Good morning, or afternoon or evening, as the case may be, whenever you're watching this. If you are live with me, go ahead and comment, say hello, all the things. I'm going to see where I can turn on the comments now. Okay, make sure this is public. Because that was apparently something. I think I set it to public last time we were all talking about it. Let's see. That one's public. This one is public. It says it's public. Okay. I guess we're rolling. So, welcome, welcome, welcome. Good morning. Welcome to my weekly energy report. I'm Soul Coach Michelle, your friendly neighborhood super woo and manifesting coach. Oh my goodness, you guys. Holy moly. Okay, and the sound is off there so I don't scare the hell out of myself or others. So, this week there is so much going on. First off, I do want to say I'm so excited to make announcements both in emails this week and on social and here. Per my posting last week, and I think I shared here, we're shifting gears, or I'm shifting gears, and I'm stepping and leaning back into being the teacher and the coach and the mentor for supporting you in manifesting your dreams. So in that, I am letting go of general readings as an offering. I'm going to replace stuff with different kinds of sessions. So don't worry. But right now, I do want to announce, and below, whether you're on Facebook, I guess if you're on Facebook, it's up here. And if you are on YouTube's, it's down here in the comments or the blurby thing. I am opening. I think I have about one spot left for the Manifesting Mentorship that starts in February. So if you want to work together and really deep dive on Ask, Believe, Receive, what they really mean, and you want to talk about that, if that's something you want to do, it's called the Manifesting Mentorship Intensive, and it's 3 months, and we work together one-on-one to get you going in the right direction if you are ready for something like that. There's more stuff coming, so don't worry. But if that sounds good to you, then I would love for you to just kind of ping me, send me a message, send me an email, reply to the newsletter this week, and let me know that you want to set up a curiosity chat. And there'll be links and all that kind of stuff. So that's coming. There's other sessions that I'm going to announce probably next week. But this is, like I said, it's a 3-month intensive. It is a one-on-one coaching experience that is spiritual, practical, and no more bullshit. No more writing things 55 times, 5 days in a row, and hoping to God that you get something, that you manifest something more than, a writer's cramp. This is where we put the rubber meets the road. Shit gets real, and we get you through, that place where we set our intention, we do the work, and then your itty bitty shitty committee starts coming in and chattering away about why you don't deserve something, or you're not worthy, or what would other people think, or oh my God, what if I do this wrong, or oh my God, what if I do this right, what will people say, all that shit, and then learning how to receive. That is what this is about. So if you're ready for stuff like that, ping me, message me. I will send you the link. We can set up a 30-minute curiosity call that is free, and I would love to chat with you if you want to work together. So that's the first thing that I'm announcing. I'll put a blurb in like Facebook, and it'll probably be on Instagram because they're connected anyway. So that's the biggie. Secondly, if you're new to me, if you're new to manifesting and you want like a primer, or you want to just see what is her perspective, because it doesn't sound like the Ask, Believe, Receive that I know. I do have my 7 steps to manifesting your dream life practice course that is free. The link, again, Facebook here, YouTube's here. You can go ahead and register for that. It's free. It comes in your email, and then you go into the learning portal and go ahead and you can download that and register for that, and that's free. And then I think that's it. So those were our 2 announcements. So I'm excited. Oh, last announcement. If you still want a general reading, there is 1 spot left. I believe it's on the 27th in the afternoon. So if you are like, I need to get my general reading in before this go away, there's 1 spot left. You can go ahead. You can either ping me, message me. My website is a little on the fritz right now. So if you ping me or message me because you want that, we can set that up. So Darren's working on the website. Anyway, okay. So all that said, let's talk about what's going on right now. Holy molasses, yo. So the message that Spirit has shared with me regarding the energy with all of this stuff. So retrogrades, let's talk about that. Everyone's like, "Oh my God, Mercury retrograde, everything's gonna wig out." Well, okay, so Mercury retrograde, um, Mercury is the planet of communication and how we interact. Venus is love and money. Um, and so I think we talked a lot about the Venus one last week and the week before. And that's why I hosted the workshop, the Reconnect and Align and Manifest workshop, where we talked about values. Because Venus invites you in retrograde to go within and ask, do I value myself? How do I value that? What are my values? What am I doing here? And then Mercury, being communication when we're in retrograde, invite you, especially right now, I think it's in Aquarius, so lots of thought, is how do we think about ourselves? How do we think about how are we the thought of talking to ourselves? Like, how do we do that? How do we communicate with ourselves? Like, where do our thoughts, which are really just the lens that we see life through? And I want to read you something because and I'm going to create a post around this because I think it's really important. But trying to find where I was. Oh, here we are. So over the weekend was having a chat with some girlfriends of mine, and one of the things that came up, one of the girls was pulling, her daily cards, and she does tarot, and so she pulled swords, I think is what it was. Let me see, just make sure, because like it's different in every deck. Swords, yeah. So, and she was talking about how it brought into her awareness this idea of how was she thinking about stuff. And it's so apropos because right now it's all in Aquarius, thought, air sign, lots of thinking. And when we're thinking about how are we treating ourselves and like how are our thoughts governing what we do, how are our thoughts, and when we think, thoughts become things. So if our thoughts are being the inner mean girl or boy or they, what is that how is that holding us back, or how are our thoughts moving us forward? So this is what in response, and I wanted to share this with you guys because I think it's really, really important. um so I do angel cards, and when you do tarot, the tarot, which is different than oracle, they're very like similar. Like the same card means the same kind of thing in different decks. So, anyway, swords or air, um, those represent thought, is what it said, and so those are thought-oriented cards. So, it's where are my thoughts, and this is the question that I think is really big and the opportunity and the invitation to go really deep because we're talking about like, Uranus is like, and Pluto is hanging out there. So it's all like this deep dive underworld, and we're full mooning in Cancer, which talk about like not only is all this shit going on, you gonna feel it in the feels. So you're thinking, you're hearting, you're doing all the things. And what I want to bring to everyone's attention is a couple of things. One, this is a great opportunity. It may not feel great, kind of like when you have like, you break a bone and you're excited to get the cast off, but they take the cast off. And I remember when I was a kid, I broke my wrist and they had the cast from like here to here because I broke it in two places. And if I moved anything, all the bones went everywhere. So they had to immobilize the whole thing. And it held me back because it happened like right at the beginning of summer of like sixth or seventh grade. And like I couldn't go in the pool, I couldn't go to the ocean. It was just a pain in the ass. It held me back from having fun. And I was so excited, I remember, to get it off. But then they took it off and I couldn't move my arm because these muscles had atrophied and it hurt to move. But I had to do it anyway because I needed to get the motion going in that arm. So what's going on right now is almost like a necessary healing. That healing had to happen. The bones healed. So the last 2 years, think of it this way, the last 2 years was so much transition and peeling away layers and learning all the things. And yeah, we went through a roller coaster of like amazing ascension and healing and reveals and all this stuff, like the truths that were being revealed and the aha moments. And we all were like, okay, I know why I'm supposed to not go anywhere, because we all felt like our feet were in cement or whatever. But the fact is, we were staying where we were so that we could be in that slow down mode and really digest everything that was going on. And now we got into this new year, and much like every January with a new year, we're all like, okay, let's do this. And that first couple of weeks was like, yes, we are being told we're going to go. But remember, Lunar New Year is until February, first week of February, which is fine because that's when the retrogrades end. They kind of end in that last week of January and into February. And this is kind of like, okay, before you go running away, we got one more healing thing, because all that stuff we revealed to you, all that awesome that you're going to do this year, we need you to pay really close attention and to heal that, to release any of the grief, any of the pain, any of the stuff that came with the healings over the last 2 years. And now saying thank you. We're in that full moon in Cancer, so we're going to feel this stuff come up and out, almost like, yay, I cut that cast off. And now you're like, shit, this hurts trying to move my arm again, because even though I didn't break my elbow, I broke these bones. This elbow was still stiff as could be and wouldn't move around. So this is that moment you get your cast off and you're like, oh, I'm excited, but I still need to be slow and mindful and stretch and do my exercises to ease into this. I can't just run ahead. I have to heal that last little bit. I have to let go of all that shit. So what this is inviting you to do is to really say to yourself, okay, what are these residue thoughts? Where are they coming from in regards to my value? In the regards of, gaining and losing relationship because I'm seeing who really is valuing me and who is not. What I want to do with my experiences, because I'm realizing the stuff that I did out of habit and tradition doesn't serve me. But these new things really feel good. So maybe is that what I'm like, really kind of investigating that, and then going deep, deep, deep inside in that Mercury way to kind of really go into the cave. It's almost like you got in the front of the cave and now they're going, come here, we got a little bit more to show you. And then we're going to let you go, because you need to like kind of really understand where all this stuff is coming from so you can release it. Okay. So these thoughts that are governing this, I want to read you what I said. So it's, where are my thoughts? When you pull a thought card, or when we're talking about these retrogrades right now, because it's all about thought and how we communicate, and how we communicate with ourselves, with others, how we communicate our feelings, how we communicate with our higher power. What are we doing, and how are we communicating our value? That's why right now it might be real muckety muck up in the head, is because you're like, oh my God, I thought I knew what I was doing, but oh my God, do I really know what I'm doing? All of the stuff that I thought was in the right direction just doesn't feel right. And I feel kind of jumbled. Translation: slow down, chill, okay, and do the work, because it's saying to you, I'm giving you this time. I'm giving you time off so that you can really step into these opportunities of valuation of self and how you roll and all this kind of stuff, and to get your thoughts straight. So it's, where are my thoughts? These are the questions. Where are my thoughts and beliefs either moving me forward or holding me back? Okay. And it always brings to mind the Louise Hay affirmation. God, I love her. I miss her so much. She's like the Betty White of the woo woo movement. I swear. It's like, oh, and by the way, today's Betty White Day. Donate to your animal shelters. But Louise Hay had this wonderful affirmation, and I love it. So whenever your itty bitty shitty committee comes up, whenever those doubtful moments come up, as you are deeply in the cave for the next, say, 24 hours, and then as it kind of subsides over the next 2 weeks or so, remember this statement. It's only a thought, and a thought can be changed. Okay? Because your thoughts are not who you are. Your thoughts are not who you are. They are reflections of the lens we see the world through. And that lens was given to you by people in your family, people who raised you, maybe your friends. And you can say, you know what, that's not mine. You can ask it, is this me? And it might say yes or no. And then you can say, okay, what does my lens tell me? Or what does the lens of source tell me? That's even better. So that you can see that world through and change that thought, because the thoughts are transient and they're ever changing. So if you can really get into the awareness to know, what am I thinking? What's going on up here during this time of, review, recharge, anything with an RE, retro, go back, look it over, revise, renovate in your love and money areas, your value areas, in your communication areas, meaning with yourself, with higher power, with your relationships, family, love, friends, all work, all of that. And how are they interconnected? And what are my thoughts about these things? Where are they moving me forward and where are they holding me back? That's the energy of the week. So, to support that, to support us navigating that from a space of healthiness instead of being like, shit, 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 this is a hot mess. Because let me tell you something, this shadow, I don't know what's going on. I like the technology half of this has been kind of, I'm kind of like, I'm all about the lessons. I'm not about the technology messing up. So, um, even I have been kind of like, oh my God, what's going to go on here? So understand that this, again, all these are opportunities, and it's going to be until that first week of February or so when the Lunar New Year hits. And then we'll probably have a new set of opportunities. But for right now, these deep, deep, deep dive conversations with yourself have to go on. So how do we navigate these deep, deep dive conversations, self conversations that are going to unlock some unconscious aha moments that you can then look at and go, oh, that's where that came from. Let me look at, okay, I'm thanking it for how it has shaped the good, bad, and the ugly, but I'm going to let go of the painful stuff that came with that and keep the wisdom. That's the process. So as we move through those processes this week, let's pull some cards and say, what do we need to know here? What is, we already know kind of what is the lessons, what are the things we need to look for, but what do we need to do to support ourselves as we were, because these are some deep dive, serious, serious things that are going to be happening over the course of the next couple of weeks, and especially this today and into tomorrow with our full moon energy. um, Understand that we need to have some guidance and say, okay, what can we do to support ourselves? What are the self-care? I think that's it, because we're going to be doing a lot of work, so we need a lot of self-care. What is the self-care that we need to take and focus on as we move through this week and do these deep dives and release, and are grateful for the releases during this Cancer full moon? And you know what? Release can come in the form of tears, laughing, screaming. Just don't scream at your partner. Don't scream at the people you love. It's really easy to do when we're feeling all the feels during all this kind of stuff as it's going on. So just be aware of that. But let's do this. What self-care do we need? Okay. That one. Hmm. You can't make this shit up, yo. When you see, oh my goodness. Okay. Ah, that's so funny. Okay. So we got one right side up and two upside down. So we'll start, and it's so funny. It's reaffirming what we talked about. So the first, it's time for a deep dive. Time for a deep dive. See, this is so funny that, is that not the entire message? Hi, it's time for a deep dive. We got Mercury retro, Uranus retro, Venus retro, full moon in Cancer. Time for a deep dive. So this is coming. This is coming, and it's okay. But look how beautiful the swan is. The swan is so beautiful and graceful, but she's kind of a badass. I don't think, if you've ever interacted with a swan, they're really pretty from far away, but they can be bitches if you get up on them. I only know this because I remember as a little girl, we used to have a duck pond down the street. My cousins and I would go down there and feed the ducks. And there was Canadian geese and swans and ducks and all this thing. And my eldest cousin, she was so funny. She loved animals so much, and she wanted to get up with this. Oh, they're so pretty. And she's trying to go feed this one, and it like ran after her and tried to eat her. So understand that the deep dive is beautiful, and it might be a little painful, it might be a little scary, but it is beautiful in the end, because that transformation that comes from it, that'll probably show up at the end of the month, is going to be amazing. And remember, the swan also, there's also that story, The Ugly Duckling, where you had this little baby swan that was like made fun of because when they're babies, they're not so cute, right? And all the ducks were like, "Who the hell are you?" And then she grew up and she was gorgeous. So that transformation that starts with kind of like a beautiful hot mess turns into a beautiful, beautiful. So it is time for the deep dive. It's reinforcing what we talked about. Now, here's the funny thing. So the next card, the two supporting. So we pull the first card to say we're affirming what the energy is. Second and third card are support, support. What's the medicine we need to know as we do this? So the first medicine is upside down canary, which is sing your own song. See, here you go. But it's upside down. What does that mean? In these readings, in my readings anyway, upside down means I didn't know that. I forgot that I knew that, or oh my God, I knew that, but I don't wanna. And I think that's where this is coming in. It's a reminder. It's sing your own song, and I love that this is showing up today because I get to work with this wonderful, wonderful songwriter this afternoon called Lowry Olafson. He is amazing. He writes affirmation power songs for people, and we're going to work together. And I'm so excited, you guys. I'll have to share it with you when it's done. But anyways, sing your own song means step into that which is true for you. Everyone has their music. They say don't die with your music in you. This is the time to remember, what was my music again? Like, and get out there and sing it. Whether it's for real, you're going to sing in the car, drive around the neighborhood, sing it away, or just doing your thing. Just letting people see who you are and without any worry about their judgment or their thoughts. This is really all for you. It's all for you. So whatever brings you the most joy this week, go do that when you're feeling kind of icky from the deep dive because you're kind of like, oh, I'm really tired. Maybe take a nap. That might be your song. Maybe cook a really nice meal. Maybe go sing. Maybe go play some music if that's your jam and you haven't played your instrument in a really long time. Find the thing that is uniquely you and do that. That will be what supports you through this deep dive experience. Doing the stuff that brings us the most pure joy, like when we were kids, that's what happens and what we need when we're doing these cave deep dive things that support our growth so that we can balance it with those loving acts. And this is so funny. The second thing is the upside down frog, which is clear away the clutter or clear out the clutter. And again, that's another, I didn't know that. I forgot that I knew that. And oh, I know that and I don't wanna. I think this one is more of it. I forgot I knew that because the canary is, oh man, I gotta be myself. I gotta shine my light. That's kind of because there's people talk about shining their light all the time, but fear holds us back. Like again, our thoughts, are they moving us forward or holding us back? And I think in this case, find the ones that have been holding you back, the fears around being who you really are with everyone in your life. And then you'll know real quick who's in your corner and who's not. That values and communication thing will show right up for that deep dive. And then the ones that are in your corner, those are the ones you'll really kind of go, oh, it may be somebody you don't even expect that is like your biggest cheerleader. And that's totally cool. But this last part of that is when you discover those things, when you discover and you get the really clear sense as we move closer to the beginning of February, when you get that really clear sense of I'm doing my own thing, and these are the people that are showing up for me and loving on me. And these people over here who I thought were my peeps are not. Um, it gives you that kind of real discernment over where the support and the oneness is coming from and where your vibration is and who you're hanging out with and all that kind of stuff. And so that you can that's why it's setting you up. It's releasing all the grief and all of the pain and turning it into wisdom. That's what the full moon is, and being grateful for that transformation and that transcendence. But then as we do that kind of stuff, it's kind of like when you get new furniture in the house. You got to get rid of the old furniture. So clear out the clutter. Call them junk people and get that shit out of your house. Do cleansings and clearings. Do those chakra meditations that clear and balance your chakras. Get out that selenite. Get out your like my friend Alicia makes this spray. It's awesome. It's energy clearing spray. So if you are allergic to sage, I'm not trying to I'm sorry I sound like a commercial, but if you are, this stuff is some kick-ass stuff. It clears the energy like nobody's business. Or burn the sage, or burn your Palo Santo and turn that negative energy into positive energy. But whatever you got to do, it's time to clear out the spiritual clutter, clear out the material clutter, clear out the old thoughts that are kind of echoing. Because, and I talk about this with my clients a lot, is when you shift a belief, it's really funny when you're in awareness because stuff will happen that you'll have this echo of the old version of you kind of being like, we should really be scared right now. But it's really interesting that I'm not. But old me would have been like scared shitless right now. Huh, that's really interesting. Those echoes are what are being released. And the stuff behind those echoes are where the deep dive, like really finding that point where you can bring light to it and let it out and let it go. That's the decluttering process. Okay? And when we make room, when we do that decluttering, when we do that deep dive, we find that stuff, we get that courage, which is I'm scared, but I'm doing it anyway kind of thing, to sing your own song and then clear out that clutter of that leftover stuff, that skin you shed, that stuff you don't use no more because it don't serve you, whether it be an old pan or an old thought. Clean it out. So lots of, and especially since we're in that Cancer, it's going to be a lot of feelings. So, but make sure maybe take your bath if you love having being in the bath. Get you all of the go on the Google and Google like bath salt recipe for clearing energy. Pour that in there. Or if you're in Nashville, go to Aroma G's. They got a whole room full of bath bombs and that kind of stuff. If you don't have a bathtub, like we don't have a nice bathtub in our house, so I usually will do a foot soak to clear the energy. And then, do treat yourself to a manicure. Do stuff that supports the positive renovation that you're going through. That's how we're going to get through this week. So it's self-care, decluttering, allowing yourself to be out there so people can see the true you, so that those who love your light can come to it. And then everybody's working together because a rising tide lifts all boats. Okay. So that's this week. So we have Swan, which is the deep dive, which we talked all about in the first half of the video. Then we're supporting it with sing your own song, even if it's scary. Go ahead and do it anyway. And then as things pop up to be released, let them go, declutter, whether it be, like I said, you're cleaning out the pots and pans, you're cleaning out the old stuff from wherever, but let it go. It's time. It's time. Do your inner and outer decluttering. Make room. That's the other thing that decluttering does. It makes room for the good new stuff to come. Okay. So that's our message for this week. And I, again, love you so much. If you want, this was a reading for the collective. I do this every week. So we do an energy report and oracle poll every week for the reading and message for the collective. If you need something that's more specific, I have one spot left in January. It is the last spot for general readings. Just ping me a message and I will say, I think it's on January 27th in the afternoon is the last spot. So if that's you and it's resonating, you want a private session, it's I can, let's see, just ping me a message. I'll send you a link. Other than that, again, if you are wanting to do the Manifesting Mentorship Intensive, if that sounds cool, and I talked about it at the top of the video, about the 3-month one-on-one private VIP mentorship manifesting coaching we can do together, that's spiritual, practical, and no more BS stuff, but it'll get you where you need to go. I'm have those open. I think I have one spot left. Holy moly. That all starts in February. So if that sounds interesting, I would love to hear from you. Message me and we can set up a call if you want to see if working together over the next 3 months is something that sounds delightful. And other than that, just trust in yourself. Trust yourself to know that you are beautiful. Shining your light is not something to be feared. Like, and I'll never forget this. Shauna Kenner, I know you're out there, and she said this, and I thought she was amazing when she said it. She said, there was this person, and they said to me, you need to tone your light down. And she said, you know what I said? I looked at them and I said, look, you have two choices. If you think I'm too bright and I'm too shiny, you can either leave or get some sunglasses. And that's the message I want to leave you with. Go ahead and do your deep dive so that you can shine so brightly. You can say the same thing to the people around you that are saying, and what they're really saying isn't you are doing anything wrong. What they're really saying is, I'm afraid to shine like you. And that's something that's I got to work out in my own time. And you're reminding me of that. And you're telling back to them could be, that's I'm great. I'm grateful that you're aware of that, but your stuff is not going to keep me from shining my light. Okay. That's our message for this week. Trust in the deep dive, trust in the retrogrades. They are here to heal you, not to go make you crazy. I promise. Um, and I guess I will see you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel right here. On the YouTubes and Facebook. I love you guys so much. Check out the replays, comment below, or wherever you comment on here. I love you so much. Remember, if you're watching YouTube, go ahead and subscribe, click the bell, do all the things, give me a thumbs up on the video so that YouTube knows to share this with other folks. Okay? Love you so much. See you next week. Love you guys. Bye bye.